Okay, episode 26. We have a special guest here on the podcast, Amanda Vance. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys. This is fun. There's so many of you.
Thanks for being on.
Of course. This is so fun. So what are you guys, what's your specialty on this podcast? We talk sports.
Yep, we are the utility players, so we try to cover a little bit of everything.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you want to give her like a little background of us though? You know,
yeah, I need to know your teams. I need to know your teams. Like, what am I working with here? Are you a bunch of New England guys? Like, what?
Oh, absolutely not. I think we all hate New England.
All right, so one at a time, boys. So go ahead, kick it off for somebody.
I am a lifelong frustrated Dolphins fan, but we're still here. We're still here.
Okay. Dolphins. I judge people off of their football teams, so I'm
absolutely.
I'm like judging you all right now.
What is
right.
Are we sticking with the frustrated fan? Ben, you want to go next?
Oh, damn. Wow. Yeah. I'm a lifelong Bears fan. So I grew up not too far from Chicago, a couple hours away. And so born and bred pretty much any Chicago team. So frustrated, yeah. But I mean, looking up, Bears fan now, right? So
I'm a Buckeye fan, so I can tell you Ohio State quarterbacks never pan out in the NFL, but good luck.
Amanda, that is not what I wanted to hear. I'm still riding high on the Justin Fields right now. Dang. Whew.
Well, and then Ray and I are both Giants fans.
Absolutely.
Okay. Fun. I just interviewed Blake Martinez. He's like,
yep, I saw that.
Defensive
Love Blake.
captain.
Yeah, he was my favorite player last year that we got from Green Bay. Amazing athlete. Love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, led the league in tackles, I think. He's a machine guy, but he needs help on the other side of the ball.
He does.
No.
Absolutely. So hopefully we got that for him this season.
Well, I'm a Steelers fan. I beat you all. I'm just kidding.
Pittsburgh.
Speaking of Steelers fans, since Big Ben's basically going to be on the cover of Men's Fitness, do you expect Pro Bowl season out of him?
Do I expect a what season?
Pro Bowl season out of him?
I mean, who knows? Honestly, it's all about who stays healthy, and he did it last year somehow. So if he can stay healthy, I think he's a contender for the Super Bowl. But especially now that he has some help in the running game.
Sure.
But I used to be a Dolphins cheerleader, so I understand your frustration. I also don't think Tua's the guy. So.
Oh man,
No.
I like Tua just because he's down to earth. He seems like a real humble kid, but
Down to earth doesn't win you games.
No, that's true. Yeah,
yes.
That's facts.
That is facts. That whole like quarterback speak, coach speak stuff, it usually doesn't pan out. But hey, I mean, he came in injured. He didn't know much of the playbook, so we'll see what happens in year two. I look forward to it. It should be good. I'm excited.
I'm ready for some football. I've been bored.
Right.
What do you think about the I was checking FanDuel this morning, and the Steelers are plus 450 to win the division.
You know, we have the hardest division in football, and I think people forget we won it last year with injuries. So all we did was add to our team, fire our offensive coordinator, get better. So I don't know
Addition
why
by subtraction,
thinks we're suddenly gonna suck. I don't get it. And not to mention, last year we had the easiest schedule in the NFL. This year we have the hardest. The Steelers notoriously they're known for playing shitty against shitty teams. We play down to our opponents. So with a hard schedule, I like our chances. But it's all about division games, and I think that's why our division's freaking awesome. And Ben is arguably the worst quarterback. Not really. He's won 2 Super Bowls, but because of his age, that's what people are saying. But Ben owns the Browns. He owns the Ravens. We beat the Ravens twice last year.
Fuck that shit.
We're like,
I love it.
He's like 25-2-1 against the Browns. So it's crazy that people think we're suddenly gonna suck. I like it though. I like no pressure. And the odds are against us. And I think that you see our guys, they love to TikTok and show off. I think they're gonna eat off of everybody hating them, in my opinion. But
I'll always say the Steelers are my second favorite team. Myself and Gravy are from New York, so we're Giants fans. But you know, keeping that that tradition alive with the Giants and Steelers as an organization. Steelers, I'll always no hate for them. I root for them, and obviously Big Ben was in the Eli draft along with Phillip Rivers. So there's always a part of me that roots for Big Ben and the Steelers.
Respect.
I'm with you on
Thank
that.
you.
Respect.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I guess if I had to pick somebody in the North, I would maybe take, I mean, I don't like, I hate the Eagles. I
No one
hate,
likes the
Yeah, that's all
Eagles.
you needed to say. That's all you need. Don't even complete your sentence. That's
and I
all.
hate the
End it on
Cowboys.
that.
I hate the Cowboys.
I hate the Cowboys as well. Perfect.
So, Washington,
we know
I kind
who-
of like rooting for them though. Just
We
'cause
know who
they're-
we're rooting for on Saturday or Sunday when they play the first Hall of Fame game. So we're with you on that.
I'm rooting just for no injuries. I don't
Yeah,
care who wins.
that's
right.
People,
Absolutely, yeah.
I have Cowboy fans writing to me and they're like, good luck. I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck who wins. I just want no injuries because
Smart.
we go down. Like, I think they said Najee is going to take a couple of reps. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why? I get it. They want to like get these rookies like ready, but all it takes is one play and your season's over. So you know it's Saquon.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Got hurt against the Bears. Another reason why I can't stand them.
I think we played you first game of the year last year though,
Yep.
and y'all scored first. I think I was nervous for a minute, and then
downhill from there.
then
Just
we
for a minute.
We showed our true colors.
Yeah.
started our 11-0 streak. Thanks, guys.
Well, tell us a little bit about bookies. Obviously, that's something behind you and something you promo on your Instagram. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I actually like didn't even purposely have this here. It's just like the most awkward guys. I have like a huge one I use. This is like
Just
I'm, like,
wallpaper.
this is just like a little one. I like they send me so much shit and I don't know where to put it. So it's just all around my house. So yeah, the gambling stuff is kind of my forte now. I love working bookies because they work with BetMGM, DraftKings, FanDuel, kind of all the legal sites, which is awesome. Before them, I worked with a company that was called BetUS. It was offshore, and I watched so many people get fucked over and write to me and be like, I didn't get my $300. Where's my sign-up bonus? And I was like, it's becoming legalized everywhere. So I'm like, from here on
Everywhere,
out,
yeah.
I'm just gonna work with legal company and
Smart.
no bad blood. But they're awesome. So they're they allow me to kind of do what I want, and I have a lot of fun with it. But I like to make it fun because anybody can kind of give predictions and talk gambling, but I try to use trends and do the TikTok shit and everything else and make it entertaining and different. If you're dumb enough to listen to my bets and you lose, it's not your fault. I'm dancing around telling you who to pick, so I don't really feel bad for you. But
Yeah.
I
Cooper's
like
money line.
I like to think my bets are pretty good. I NFL is my forte. Had a nice run in March Madness there with the final 8 against the spread from the elite the elite 8 on. Got them all right, and then
Wow.
I went 10-3 against the spread last year in the playoffs and called the Super Bowl spot on. So I'm just ready for the NBA. Fucks me so much though. Like I
Yeah.
literally like.
NBA is
You
competitive.
and me both.
Oh, NBA is tough.
I mean, I would say I was still definitely above 50%, but it was nothing to brag about. So
Yeah.
I'm just ready for the NFL to be back. And I love college football too.
Yep.
Do you guys have a favorite college team? Or are we like,
FSU.
okay.
Yeah, I'm from up north, and I've been up north for 30 years. So we got enough major league teams that we don't really have to dive into college. But Michigan would be my football team. If I picked them very early on. Don't ask me questions about them. I just if they're on
Michigan.
television. If they're on television, I watch them. That's kind of I picked that during the Mike Hart, Chad Henne years. That's kind of
Oh
my era.
God, Chad Henne.
When I was,
Don't
like,
talk
16,
to me
yeah.
about Chad Henne. Get Chad Henne out of here.
I know.
I don't want to hear that name ever again.
So I don't talk stuff about college.
I'm not allowed to say Michigan around my parents. Like we have to call it shit again.
Yeah.
Like
Shit again.
growing up, if I said it in the house, my dad would be like, "Get out!" Like that in Baltimore, where just like his two. Now it's kind of turned into Cleveland, but those are the teams I'm not allowed to discuss. So
That's a
actually
perfect
dated a guy once that was a Michigan fan and wore a shirt home, and my dad made me change it outside. He gave me another shirt and he didn't let me in. He made me change it outside before I came in. So
That's a good man, because I would do the same exact thing if it was my daughter and someone came home with a Packers jersey on or something. I'd be like, take him back out. Get rid of him.
I was gonna say that's a perfect segue. Did you're living in Florida now? You from here? What's kind of your story with the teams that you root for?
So yes, I'm from South Florida and ironically cheered for the Dolphins, but grew up hating all Florida teams because my dad's a crazy Midwestern. He went to Ohio State. Lived and grew up in Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of his way or get out. And that's how I was raised. And so that's what I decided to kind of root for as a kid. I mean, ever since I was young, I was a diehard Pittsburgh, everything, you name it, Penguins, Pirates, Steelers, and then obviously the Buckeyes. So and my grandpa had a gambling addiction. So that's how I was made. My mom could care less. She's actually from New Jersey, so I feel like maybe she'd be a Giants fan if she didn't take my dad's teams. I don't know. But we're crazy Steeler fans here, like insane. We go to a couple games a year. We have every jersey signed, like we're nuts. My dad, I just remember growing up one year, it was the year, I think, maybe it was the Cardinals Super Bowl. It's like, if they go to the Super Bowl, it's like, I'm going to run around the block naked, like butt naked. I remember
that was a great Super Bowl.
My
It
mom
was a great Super
praying
Bowl.
that they lost because we didn't want to see my dad naked. But instead, he just like drove around holding down his horn like for 20 minutes, and all the neighbors, like everybody knows, like he's very very out there about it.
That's a good compromise. Not running around the hood naked.
For real.
Had to do something obnoxious though.
Right.
But yeah, I love rooting for the Steelers. They're like, it's so funny because I love the TikTok and the social media, and like so do our players. And I didn't choose it. I didn't make it that way. But like, I would be so jealous if I wasn't a Steelers fan and like the Steelers are doing like dancing on logos, like and dancing. I'd be so pissed if that wasn't my team. I love them so much. But
you got to collab with Juju.
Yeah, I actually know Juju. He signed a jersey for my dad, actually.
Nice.
He's a really nice guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's got to keep it celebratory and not... He's got to earn the dances. Let's put it that way.
With celebrating, you have to win. If you don't win and you celebrate, it's never a good look. So you got to keep the winning coming.
And my dad is against social media. Ironically, with my job, he hates it. He doesn't understand why they do it, why they TikTok.
I'm sure most of us will be against it at one point when we have daughters.
T-minus 3 weeks for me.
Yeah.
Too bad. So do you guys gamble?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys like intelligent gamblers, or are you good, or what?
No, I think for the most part we're all responsible gamblers. I like to bet on baseball for the most part. Baseball and football are really my two things. Whether it's like first half baseball games or where I have the most fun, and just little 14 parlays during football season. I was going to ask, when you're betting, besides, the TikToks and having fun, are there any things that you look for or any things that draw you to certain bets or games?
Well, the NFL, it's I don't look at numbers too much. I kind of look at chemistry, and I know where guys have come from, and I know matchups, and I understand coaching. So whereas the NBA, I sit there and I look at numbers, and I'm like, well, they hit the over the last 2 games. So strategically, if the Clippers are going to win, it has to be the under. Like, that's me with NBA. But with NFL, it's like, I really like kind of go with my heart. I know you're not supposed to bet with your heart, but I bet on like you can give me 2 matchups right now, any 2 teams, and I'll tell you, and a made up spread, and I'll tell you who I'm going to take. It doesn't matter with the NFL. I like kind of know, like I just knew the Ravens would beat the Titans, like that. first game. Like it
That's
just
the best type of betting for me. Is you just gotta feel it in your stomach.
yeah. NFL though, it's more of it's I have so much passion towards football that I look at it. I don't look at numbers too much. It's more just situational gambling. That
Yeah,
Speaking of gambling, with I would say over the last couple of years, it becoming more legalized and states become more of a push. You definitely see advertising, marketing has picked up on it. The different leagues have embraced it. How do you see that changing maybe the sports world over like the next 5 years as more and more states eventually legalize it?
Well, I mean, all the major networks are already trying to implement it. I mean, I know CBS, Fox, like they're trying to set up gambling stations on TV. I mean, and I do think that I know the NBA is already working on this, but I do think that the NFL also they'll have like they will sponsor gambling themselves. But it's really tricky because the players can't be involved. Like I've gotten people in trouble. They can't be involved with gambling at all. They can't. So I don't know exactly what it would look like, but I definitely think when the states and the teams and the the big companies can figure out how to make money off of it, it's gonna be huge. It's the place to be for sure. It's just getting started. Florida will probably be the last place because of all like the Seminole shit, but
good point.
I never even thought of that actually. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
But people have money, so when they figure out how to make it, I don't know why they wouldn't legalize. But people do it anyway. It's like so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's just who's getting those profits when they're betting in the casinos.
Right.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I know they already have like stadiums that have. I know they're going to set up stadiums with like certain little machines where you can bet and everything on that too. So
yeah,
I look at gambling.
Like there will be suites. I heard like gambling suites.
Yep.
That you sit in during the games and like live bet, which is trouble.
Yeah, live bets are trouble.
Well, especially like you're at the game and you're drinking and like imagine
of course.
You're a fan, like you're a Dolphins fan and you're passionate and you're an idiot and you're drunk, like you're gonna bet on a comeback. Like
usually you're an idiot if you're at a Dolphins game. So very good point.
I've lost a lot of money at home that way doing that. Just watching a game, having a few drinks, or watching UFC or something, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh, I'm gonna live bet this right now, and then next there goes.
I feel like it would only benefit Heat fans because they leave in the third quarter anyway, so they wouldn't really have that. They really wouldn't have that long to live.
Is that
bet.
a thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we get there with like 2 minutes left in the first, and then leave with 2 minutes left in the third.
Get there in the second quarter and leave in the third quarter, and you're out.
Funny, I went to a couple this year, and the second one I went to, I did actually leave in the third. They were whooping. I think who was it? It was Cleveland, I think. But the first game I went to, I stayed until the last second because I actually bet on a game I was going to, and I never do that. I like to enjoy it, and when I bet, I don't always enjoy it. But it was like the last second. It was like a backdoor cover, and it was like, you know how the over under is like usually right where it ends up hitting. It was like I needed them to not score any more points, and I needed Jimmy Buckets to miss a free throw. Like that never happens. It happened. And they hit the under, and I covered. Like it was like the best. I think that was the only time I stayed to the end though, now that I think about it, because I had money on the game.
Yeah.
And usually you always have something to do after the game. So it's like, all right, where are we going to next?
But if you do have money on it, people will stay.
Yeah. And I think they have a club in that arena now, right? Or like right next to it.
What is which club is that?
I can't remember the name, but I think
I'm thinking the 40-40, but that's at Barclays.
No.
Not Hyde.
Yes. Yep.
I've been there before.
I think with so many teams introducing that into arenas, fans are not going to stick around most of the time.
Okay.
So then what
gambling
does sports basically, it's kind of like horse betting, where you'd have certain stations of the bookies up there and you're running up there making my bet real quick. That's what we're going to see stadiums turn into in some ways. You know, instead of going to the concession stand, you're going to run up there real quick after timeout and throw 50 on, you know, Jimmy Butler to make the first basket out of a timeout. That's what
I'm
I see
all for it
into.
as long as teams don't start, like refs don't start getting involved in cheating to hit overs or under, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I still get suspicious at times, like with referees being involved. So as long as that doesn't start happening, I'm all for it.
Yep,
But
for
if they
sure.
start fucking with my Steelers winning games, then I'm gonna be pissed. Yes.
Which quarterback is not on that Steelers roster week 1 of the regular season?
Great
Mason
question.
Rudolph or
Josh
Dwayne
Dobbs.
Haskins?
Great
Josh
question.
Dobbs. He's
Ooh.
still there.
He's still
right
there?
now
So who's
it's
leaving?
Dobbs, Haskins, Rudolph, Ben. Dobbs is done.
Yeah.
Dobbs
is done.
I was
I
kind of
like-
hoping Mason Rudolph was done, but
You know,
Steelers fans love Mason Rudolph. Come on, he's
I can't throw the
for
ball.
what he did a couple
No.
of years
Come
ago.
on.
He'll always be,
I can't throw the ball.
You know, I was
Trying.
at that game. I was in Cleveland at that game for the helmet game, and I was actually
That's what I'm talking about. Exactly.
yeah, and my boyfriend at the time was a Browns fan. So yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, so it was a very interesting game to be at, and I saw the whole city of Cleveland fall to pieces after winning, and it was like the most Cleveland way ever to win a game. So it was very nice.
Do any of us actually expect Cleveland? Look, to all the Cleveland people, does anybody think Cleveland actually going to be good?
I'm gonna say yes.
They just tease everybody. And then, you know, I don't think they're actually going to take the next step. In my opinion.
with Cleveland Browns in my friendship and kind of secondary family. I mean, I'm a part of the Cleveland Browns conspiracy of every year they're going to win the Super Bowl, no matter how bad they are. So I'm telling you, from what I've been watching over the last 3 years, every year they look more promising. The defense is improved, and that's the best part of their, I think, team. That's the core, and then
Wearing
the
a hat
offense.
and rolling my eyes.
No, I'm speaking unbiasedly because I try to speak about sports unbiasedly, but the Cleveland Browns are excited to watch. They're going to be on Monday Night Football a lot, Sunday Night Football, and you know they got those guys that are exciting to watch on both ends of the field. So you got to give it to
player
them,
is
man.
Odell Beckham Jr.
No, he's not. He's not my favorite player, Odell Beckham. He should burn in hell. I won't go there.
Yeah, shitty guy. I I keep making jokes about him still, and I have all these Browns fans, obviously because I'm a Steelers fan. I have a lot of Cleveland fans that, you know, banter with me, and they're like, when are you gonna stop making that joke? I'm like, literally when you stop
Never.
Ben a Ray
Never.
Ben. Like never.
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
Never.
Continue.
Yeah,
I think they'll be
absolutely.
good too, though. I mean, they'll be good, but I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl. I keep seeing things about them winning the Super Bowl. I don't. The whole AFC is it's gonna be very tough. Buffalo's good. The Titans are good. The Chiefs are good. The Ravens are good. You know, before this week,
The
the Colts
Titans.
were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you just never know. I think the Raiders are even going to step up this year. Like there's a couple. I would say Cleveland only is getting this hype because they beat Pittsburgh this year in the first round of the playoffs.
Huge blowout.
Yeah, well,
Gotta give it to him.
not really. Actually, they came back. They only ended up winning by like.
Yeah, I mean, if you're up 40
Ray,
to
you're not
10,
going to win this
I guess-
argument, man.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
just
These
These arguments.
No, they were up 40-10, but they
Yeah.
somehow only ended up winning
No, of
by like
course.
9.
Somebody's got to
that
be
was-
combative with the guests a little bit, so I'm trying.
Playoffs?
We
We're
We
talking about
lost that
playoffs.
game for ourselves.
Playoffs?
We lost that game for ourselves. Well, what do you think the Giants are going to do this year, though? Because now that it's almost been a little unfair because usually quarterbacks go from like year 1 to year 2. They have that jump, and you know Jones was injured, and it wasn't really fair because so was the rest of your team. So he couldn't really prove himself. Do you think he's going to step up? Like, is he the guy?
Gravy, you could take this one first.
Because he knows I have a lot to say.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to be fair to Daniel Jones. I think this year is the year. I need to see improvement because we have a lot of young talent, and I want to keep them on nice contracts. It has been unfair for him. Injuries, coaching changes, offensive coordinated changes. But we've kind of given him everything he needs this season. So you have the weapons. We have enough depth in the backfield until Saquon's 100%. Let's see what you really have. And he's shown flashes throwing and running. So I'm excited, but with the Giants, I've learned to temper my expectations because things go bad.
I'll piggyback off that. This is the most excited Giants team in a long time. And the Super Bowl teams, I think I was a little bit more younger. I was 17, 18, 19 years old and kind of just not understanding what it takes to make a football team. And we had a lot of veterans on that team, whether it was on more on defense. And then we had obviously the Eli, which my dad never agreed with Eli. Even after he won the first Super Bowl title, he was using words that I can't say on this podcast that he had to win a second Super Bowl just to prove that it was legit. And after today, obviously you guys seen the news, the Giants had a scrum with the defense and the offense, Daniel Jones getting into it.
That's passion.
That's something that
happened.
But as a Giants fan, that's something we haven't seen in 10 plus years. So we love it. Other fans and other teams are looking at that like, oh, look, it's not working out. No, it's working exactly how we want it to. We want that grittiness of New York Giants football. So at the end of the day, Giants football is defense first, offense second. As long as our offense is competent enough, Daniel Jones doesn't have to light the world on fire. Eli Manning never lit the world on fire. Just be a borderline Pro Bowl guy that's talked about by moving down the field, getting late scores in games, in close games, and let the defense handle it. That's my opinion about the Giants. Very humble, very to the point.
I like it. I remember when I really started getting into football, maybe it was maybe 8 years ago, the Cowboys and the Giants. That was when they had that really good rivalry, and those when they played each other, it was, I mean, I know there's still rivalry there, but I'm talking they were both good, and I was looking forward to those matchups. It was so much fun to watch, and it's just crazy how few years it's just completely changed. But I do think that they'll be better this year. Hopefully, they almost beat the Bucs. I'll never forget that Monday night game. I was so happy because I fucking hate Tom Brady, and I was so pumped.
It's a great game.
Yeah, they have the talent. It's just all about who stays healthy.
100%.
Sure. Saquon needs to stay healthy. He's smoked me 2 years in a row on fantasy.
Ooh. Oh, you guys are guys too.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking Najee first round this year, and I'm gonna win.
No matter what.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not.
I think the biggest bullshit is that order, like the draft order. It's such. I mean, it's just such shit. The amount of players that got hurt that went top 10 last year, it was so funny. I had the worst luck. I picked. You guys all play fantasy. I passed on Kamara because of the contract stuff that was going on last year, and I passed on Dalvin Cook, which I'm still kicking myself. And I took Michael Thomas first round, and that was dumb until he was out all year. And then second, I took Julio Jones, and I'm like, well, I'll get two of the best receivers in fantasy. They were both out all year. And then third, I took Dak. I'm like, let me be super smart. A quarterback. He was out. Fourth, I think I took like Chris Carson, and my whole team.
Those are all great picks. Those are all great picks prior to knowing. So
they were all hurt. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I need to
I don't know. I was playing fantasy when you could draft a running back and he would play 15 games. He would take 30 snaps a game, but that's not no more. You take a running back, it's injuries. You take a wide receiver, injuries, and then there's three guys that are taking snaps as running back. It's not the same fantasy we used to play when we were 16, 17 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
So who
Yeah.
who do we like as a quarterback this year in fantasy? Not like Lamar, Mahomes. Like I'm
Matt
talking like
Stafford.
who's okay, that's what I'm talking about. Like, who's like a sleeper.
There you go.
Stafford's a good
Yeah.
pick. I
Matt
like
Stafford's
Herbert.
my guy every year.
Really.
Justin Herbert. I think he's going to play well.
He's
Stafford,
actually
I was gonna
not
say
a-
Stafford or Herbert.
I'd say a lot of people are on to Herbert this year.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Nick.
go ahead. No, you're good.
I was just gonna say to Amanda, if you don't mind, I
Yeah.
have about 5. I thought it'd be cool to shout out 5 random fire questions to you, and you can just shoot back an answer.
I
Sports
fucking love
related.
Ben.
You know, if you're interested, what do you think?
Sure. What kind of are these, like trivia questions?
Oh no! They're just
Oh.
sports related questions, and I'll ask the question, and you shout back your answer.
Okay,
Ready?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down. I did this the other
Okay.
day, and this guy was asking me ancient Steelers questions from like
No.
I
way
can
before I was
confirm-
born.
I can
Ben
confirm none
knows
of
his
these are
stuff.
Steelers questions.
Okay,
So-
no, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll answer. Go ahead.
The first one will kind of give you a lay of the land, you know. So first one, Mac Jones or Cam Newton, who starts week 1?
Cam Newton.
Okay, Cam Newton.
That's quick.
Will Aaron Rodgers play for Green Bay next year?
Yes.
What team makes the playoffs this year that did not last year?
The Raiders. Oh,
Ooh.
the Dolphins. Sorry, the Dolphins.
Let's go.
Hey, who are we going with? Raiders or Dolphins? We'll edit the other part out.
You can say
Fins
both.
up. Fins up.
Dolphins.
Okay, 2 more.
Mhm.
You already pretty much answered this and broke my heart, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Does Justin Fields win Rookie of the Year?
No, Najee Harris does.
Ooh, okay. Last one, maybe not sports related. If you were a box of cereal, what would you be and why?
I hate cereal, but maybe Lucky Charms because I'm a gambler.
Ooh.
I like that.
I thought about this one before.
No, I actually I don't even know. The only other cereal I could think of is like Cheerios. I don't.
Yeah, great answer.
Right.
I don't
See,
eat
I always say Cheerios because, you know, I'm reliable.
Oh.
I'm cool, and I never disappoint.
And you go good with whatever.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That was
That's
fun.
great.
Yep.
That was a good one.
Boxes Cheerios.
I do have my final question would be I also saw today that Indy's over under for wins is 9. So I was curious to how you felt about that based off their quarterback situation now.
Yeah, that's not an only thing too. Somebody broke their foot too.
Yeah, Quentin Nelson.
Quentin Nelson.
I might 9. There's 17 games. I like
That's
a
a big
push
thing.
there.
See,
I think
Yeah.
they'll win around 9. I actually did that division last week. I think I took them around 9, and a lot of people got mad. I've never seen. Oh, so I love causing. Sometimes I purposely take things just to piss people off. Like I think I took
Yeah.
the Saints to have a better record than the Bucks just to see people lose
I did
it.
see that.
Yeah.
And obviously I don't think that. I mean,
Mhm.
who knows? But so many people were calling me an idiot about the Colts, and I was like, but what, Carson Wentz, like what's, I get it. They were last year. I like their chances more with Philip Rivers.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'd like a push. If you held a gun to my head and you're like over under, I would take the under.
Okay.
The 17th game keeps throwing me off this year when I'm
Yeah.
looking at lines.
Weird, right?
Dude,
And a lot
it's
of people
just-
call
I'm
me
like,
stupid because they think I'm doing my math wrong.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it, I'm like, 9, 10. I'm like 17. Oh, it's the 17th game. That's why.
That's crazy. I mean, you must get so much shit from so many people. Like, we only have like 500 something followers on Instagram, and we post something, and people are always disagreeing with us or giving us shit. Like,
Hopefully she could help us out.
that is the fun in it. Yeah, absolutely.
I love
So
like arguing with people. It's a good time.
me too. I do the same thing. I do shit just to get a reaction out of people. It's literally
Oh
what it's
yeah,
all
it's
about.
especially the group of friends we have.
Yep.
So my final question is, because this has gone so well on the Utility Players podcast, and we appreciate you having us on, you being on the podcast, will you be a special correspondent for future episodes involving either fantasy, betting, football, putting you on a blast right here for the people?
Of course. I love talking football. It's my favorite thing in the world. So you
Good.
really want to catch me on an entertaining night, catch me like middle of the season or after we just played Cleveland, and catch me in the midst of things. I don't have a lot more to say.
Shit,
Yeah,
we
we
can
gotta
even go
tell
on IG Live or whatever. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be an episode.
I'm down. I get fired up.
Perfect.
Get it.
Love it.
Yeah, tell
That's
Bookies
awesome.
USA to send us some stuff too, since you got too much.
That's great.
And any last questions for Amanda before we wrap up?
No, I just thank you for coming on.
Yes,
We
thank
really
you.
appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep.
Go
thank you.
Steelers. I hope
Is-
when you see the Steelers this year, you think of me every time.
yes.
Absolutely.
I
That's
think we
like
play. I
my
think the
goal.
Bears play them. I don't know. I think it might be Monday night this year. There's a
Ooh.
Bears Steelers game. I gotta remember that.
Well, I'll tell you, if the
I'm looking
Bears
for
play
Justin
shit,
Fields.
you might win that game because we play shitty against shitty teams. So
I like that.
Every time. Yeah.
So
That's
this is the
great.
time for you, Amanda, to plug your Instagram, Twitter, any promotional you got going on. Go ahead and do it.
I'm Amanda Casey Vance on Instagram and on TikTok. Amanda Casey Vance.
Perfect.
Cool.
We
All right.
appreciate you jumping on with us.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Of course. Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 All right, guys, we're back. Segueing into some sports topics for episode 26. What do you guys want to get into? We got football, baseball, Olympics. It's kind of an open season as we segue
Yeah.
into the full NFL season.
I know we mentioned it in our interview, but I want everyone's full take on the Fighting Joe judges. Like, not necessarily the Giants specifically, but are you against? Are you for teams arguing and
Or-
fighting and showing
Or-
toughness during camp?
Yeah. I don't like any little bitches. If you're gonna play football and you're gonna come out here where you're gonna have to smack people in the mouth every day as hard as you can, then we don't need any weak people in here. Sometimes emotions get high.
I
When
like
all
it.
you're doing all day in practice is just hitting people in the face. If you got hit in the face 27 times a day, Nick, would you not probably get into scuffles with people?
I would
Of course.
love to get
The
hit.
people are
27
saying
times
it's
in the face.
unnecessary, whatever. They don't know anything about any sports. Anybody who's played competitive sports their whole life knows that that's just passion that probably bleeds through there. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Justin Fields right now is punching Khalil Mack right in the ear.
He's
You
not winning
wish.
that fight.
Fucking
No, he's
wish.
not. He's dead. He's dying. I hope he's not. Actually, yeah.
Or maybe if
No,
Eddie
I'm-
Jackson's just flying around, he can tear some more ACLs
Right.
Jesus.
Oh,
instead
come
of just
on, man.
Saquon Barkley's.
Come
Oh,
on,
man.
What,
I'm for
what's-
it. It's good. Energy's high, just like Ben said. I mean, you want that. That's the kind of passion you want. At the end of the day, these guys are teammates. I'm sure there's no bad blood between them. It's just football.
Hey, brothers
Football,
fight,
Yeah.
competing
Right.
to win a championship. I think the funniest thing was the reporter saying Daniel Jones tripped while running towards the fight.
Yeah. Wait, I missed that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently they said he tripped and then he ended up like underneath the pile.
I
Which
hope-
probably
does he
did
have kids?
happen.
Does he have
No.
kids?
Oh my goodness.
Daniel
Man,
Jones.
when that man has kids, if he has a son, it'd be hilarious if he named him Trip.
Trip.
Man,
More,
Why
more
don't we-
beer.
what
Get it.
Ray popping the broken skull.
we talk about some NBA free agency moves since that's been going crazy these last couple days.
Sheesh.
All right, so set it
Uh,
off for us, Gravy. Do you have the list of money, years, teams?
I do
Yeah, that ready?
not have
Ooh,
that.
okay.
I don't know if anyone could tell. I sound like a sack of shit.
Yeah.
I got
don't know.
the
Talk about-
I got the EFIS variant of COVID right now.
I did listen back to episode 25, and it did sound like I was fighting something, which I was. Hopefully, I sound better on.
No,
episode
luckily
26.
I have somewhat of a good memory, so I can rattle some off. Don't have the numbers,
Okay.
but some big names. Lonzo Ball to the Bulls. I know Ben's
Woo.
happy about that. They also got DeMar DeRozan today. Knicks brought back some key guys: Taj Gibson, D Rose, Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks. We also signed Evan Fournier, which my dislike for Evan Fournier is very documented, but
Yeah.
I'll give it a fair shot. I like the deal. Those numbers in 3 years are going to look good compared to, you know, based off what the contracts will look in 3 years. I don't think that's bad. The Lakers are signing everyone over the age of 35. So got Dwight Howard, Melo. They traded for Russell, Kent Bazemore, Malik Monk, who's young. They re-signed
Wayne Ellington.
Taylor Horton-Tucker. Yep, Wayne Ellington. I'm happy for Melo. Lakers low-key
Me too.
second team, especially with Melo, favorite player of all time. If the Knicks aren't going to win a championship, I'm going to need Melo to do it. Heat got Kyle Lowry. They got PJ Tucker.
That's a
They
big
got
pickup.
PJ Tucker. It is a big pickup. Interested to see where Dragic goes, or if he retires, goes back home, or plays overseas. That's something to look to. Man,
Duncan Robinson, 90 million.
yeah, trying to figure out how Tim Hardaway Jr. got 72 million from Dallas. He's robbing people.
What about what's his name from Cleveland that got 100 million?
Jared Allen. I like Jared
Jared
Allen.
Allen.
Ray
He get
loves
100
Jared Allen.
Hey, no,
Dude,
Ben.
How
Ben,
did he
we'll-
get 100 million? No,
Ben, we'll talk off
100
record.
million.
He's 20.
100
he's
million.
20 hold on. Let
100
me
million.
get
Do it
Talk
for his
on it on
friends.
the record. Yeah.
let me
just-
get 23 seconds. Jared Allen's 23 years old. He plays his position of a
That's what she said.
center that doesn't include needing the ball, rebound, blocks, and putbacks and alley oops. That is a value position in today's NBA at 7 foot. He is willing to do whatever. At the end of the day, Cleveland Cavaliers need to spend some money. They can't not. They have to. There's a salary cap, and then there's a salary floor. You need to spend a certain amount of money. So they devoted that much money over the next 4 years. He's going to be, and I'm only speaking to him as if I'm his agent. He'll be 27 at the end of his deal. He's going to get another deal, maybe not that much money, but in every aspect or point of their career as an NBA player, if you're competent, you're going to get paid.
Yeah.
Jared Allen deserves $20 million a year based on the rest of the league and based on his age, what he could do. He's still evolving. So I understand, and I'm not taking this personal towards you. Don't let that narrative be. But I'm passionate because I watched this man get drafted by us 20, I think, first or 22nd overall, and have to prove every fucking season that he deserved to be on the Nets and have to prove that he deserved playing time. So I have a bias towards him, but it's in the right place. That dude deserves $20 million a year based on where he got drafted and what he had to go through.
All right. Well, I'm
Long
holding you
ass
to it,
23
'cause I don't
seconds.
see it.
That was kind of like that was like 28 seconds. Come
I don't
on.
see it. I just don't. I also don't watch him play that much, so I'll take your word for it. But that one shocked me a bit there. But yeah, how can you not talk about the Bulls and AK going after it? And you
for it.
forgot, I think one of the most important signings has been
Well,
is the
I wasn't done.
Caruso
Oh, I was
Caruso,
not done.
for the Bulls. I'm talking about for
Did
the
you
Bulls.
see his girl, by the way? I looked
No.
at her on Instagram.
Bree,
Yeah.
Nobody's
Agree.
listening. Shh.
Control this man.
you are engaged.
Recently engaged, wilding out.
Not allowed to look at other women's species.
No. The Lonzo Ball, again,
Nipples.
you guys know how I feel about that. Stats are similar, but he's so young. He's only 23. He's good. I think his basketball IQ is way better than Kobe White's. So I think I like it. I like DeMar coming to – I didn't even think about this, but the team back up with Vooch, that'll be good. What's going on?
He said coming.
Great.
Gary just waits for the. We gotta get more technology to like press
sorry.
buttons. Like
Sorry.
horny
You said I
button.
like DeMar coming, and then you stopped, and I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
Hey, by the way, speaking of that, have you seen that video online? What? You've seen it?
Just go.
Oh, have you seen that video online of Cardi B and them performing WAP on stage. You know how they'll have like sign language interpreters on the
Oh
side.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
Dude,
going
have
off.
you
She was
seen the
going
one
in.
of doing her doing WAP? She's like,
Hey, no.
Does
look.
that mean wet ass pussy? Like, what does that mean?
I don't know. She's like
Hey,
down.
by the
like
way,
this.
my mom's gonna watch
Oh.
this. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
Listen.
Hope
Have
your
you
knee's
seen-
doing
Sorry,
well.
mom. Yeah.
Have you seen the one where Flocka goes in, Waka Flocka, and he thinks that the interpreter was doing shit
Throwing
with him,
gang
and he
signs?
goes in,
Yeah.
I love it.
yo, that should have me cracking up. Oh my
Man.
goodness.
Speaking of,
I like
sign
DeRozan.
language, so do I. I like DeRozan too. And I
Gonna
was
help
curious
Levine.
about the money. I think we gave up a little bit too much for him.
Are you okay with
No.
not getting Markkanen back?
Yes. He didn't pan out. He's just
I
such a
heard
streaky
maybe
shooter.
a sign and trade with the Timberwolves.
Yeah, he's such a streaky shooter, and I was hoping he would continue to improve off that, but then it just got worse.
Mm.
You know, he would go off and go like 11 for, I don't know, 18 or 19 a game, and then shoot 3 for 18 for the next
There's
like
like-
4 games.
The white J.R. Smith.
Yeah. So we'll see what the Bulls do. Not getting excited, not getting overly excited. I just want to make
I
the
think you should
playoffs.
definitely be
I wanna
excited.
make I know, I'm excited for it, but we don't really have any draft picks now for the future.
Yeah.
And so
That's
I get
scary.
what they're trying to do. They're just trying to do something. And I, as a
You
Bulls
gotta
fan,
switch
at
it
least
up.
they're trying to do something. Like we've done nothing for the
Yeah.
past years. So my hope is I just want to make the playoffs next year. I just want to make the playoffs. Then we're gonna have to figure out how to re-sign Zach LaVine.
He wants his respect.
Yes, I know.
He should get it. So
If he plays,
yeah.
if he plays again, I mean, they gave him weapons. I don't know. I like it.
I
So I'm happy
respect
as a
it.
Bulls fan. Yeah.
I like it
Should be-
because you got Vooch signed big time for the next 2 years. You got to make the Zach LaVine. You guys are going to re-sign him after this season because he's a free agent after this. But you guys are either going to have to pay a luxury tax for 1 year, or you're going to have to move some things around. But I love that Chicago's going for it all because if you're not at the bottom 5 and you're not in the top 5, you need to, those are the tough decisions you have to make. And are you going for it or not? And I love the way the Chicago Bulls, if I'm a Chicago Bulls fan that hasn't felt the playoffs in 10 years, I'm
Oh,
excited.
I'm super pumped.
There you go. That's all that
I
matters.
think the Bucks winning maybe showed some people that like
It's
granted,
possible,
it's
bro.
gonna be
Injuries
it's gonna
are
be
there.
really tough. It's gonna be really tough to beat the Lakers. It's gonna be really tough to beat the Nets. Who else am I thinking of? Clippers will probably be good. The Heat are obviously going to be good. So it's going to be really tough to beat those teams, but you never know what can happen. And instead of just going the opposite way and saying, fuck it, because I can't build my own super team and then just being, mediocre or doing that, they're at least going to say, hey, let's freaking throw it against the wall and let's try to do this. Let's try to, see what
Don't
happens.
fit, don't force it.
Right.
If
So-
it don't,
No idea what that meant.
I think
what
Lil
you were
Wayne
saying,
said
but
that in
fuck
a
it.
verse one day
One day.
in the song.
Who was your guys' like biggest free agent signing that you didn't like?
I love Patty Mills. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not even listening to your question. I love Patty Mills. That's my take. Bye.
The signing that you didn't like.
For like our team or just
No,
overall
for
in the NBA?
anybody overall.
Fournier on the Knicks.
Maybe
but I
maybe
loved
Otto
it. I
Porter to the
loved it.
Warriors.
Yeah, well,
I don't think he really fits with them unless he's just there to be lengthy and defend, which I
I
get.
think-
But they have Draymond
Gra-
for that, so him
Gravy,
and Draymond
I
on the floor at the
think-
same time is a little sketchy.
I think what Otto Porter did was a lot of players after the first 10 to 12 players got signed was, all right, this is my destiny. I'm going to sign for 4 mil, 3 mil.
He's already robbed
and
the
then-
NBA.
I'm going to,
Yeah, he
well,
has.
first of all, he did. He has.
robbed the
I was a
So,
Bulls fan, remember?
but what a lot of agents and a lot of players are doing is if you don't get the money this year, that doesn't mean you can't get that money next year. So
Mhm.
you need to bet on yourself, which a lot of players did this year. Obviously, Oladipo's not signed right now, and he's a guy that I said in the group chat that I think that he'll wait for the season to start. I think he should wait for the season to start. prove that he's healthy.
See, I don't like when players do that.
Injuries happen. No,
I don't
because
like that in
injuries
any sport.
happen. No, I
Yeah,
get
but
that.
I feel like you're more susceptible to having an injury when you're coming in mid-year and trying to ramp up quickly and get to full speed.
No, I
So
understand
you
that.
want him
But,
so you want him to be assigned to a team now so he can be in camp.
but
Yep.
there's so
All of
many
that.
Gravy, you know this. There's so many programs
Take less
now
money,
that, like,
sign now, and build yourself up the correct way. And
Carmelo
then, like
did
you said,
that.
position yourself for next year.
Yeah, but Carmelo did that. What was that? 2 years ago with the Thunder or the Blazers, and
Didn't
and
go
he came
well.
back ready to. I know. I'm not saying
He
like
didn't play as good
of
as he did
his
last
level.
year.
No, I know, but I'm saying is at least you get as a player you get control. You get control over who you could sign with. If an injury happens, let's say an injury happens in Miami, all of a sudden Lowry goes down. Oladipo's a free agent. Now you get to dictate a little. I'm sorry for it. You get to dictate a little bit more than you would have in free agency because they need you. So that's all I'm saying is like sometimes waiting is not the worst decision. You got to be patient. That's it. That's all I got.
Never
Okay.
go premature.
Unless it's
Ever
Friday.
what?
I said never. You never want to go premature.
Yeah.
Oh, that's never good.
Yeah. So what?
You know.
Are we ready? I mean, are we ready to unveil this? Do you guys have any other?
Yeah, let's
stuff
fucking do it.
you want to talk about?
Ben is hype.
Oh, we could talk about
Ben
this
is
shit
hype.
after. Let's get to it. I'm hype. I've been holding this
Yeah,
secret
let's
in.
get it, man.
Let's
Longer than my
go!
engagement.
Come on.
Jesus Christ.
Here we go.
Tell
So how are we
people.
doing this?
Tell the
I
people, tell the
kind
people.
of know what the team is.
Should we
You
get
don't
their
know what the
predictions
team
first?
is. How do you know
Should we
what the
get
Yes,
team
I
is?
do.
Yeah, let's get
I
their
will-
predictions first.
Okay.
Hold on, pause.
How would you know what the team is?
I will tell you when the team is revealed whether it was true or not.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no.
gonna lie.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
No,
Ben,
we gotta hear it now. We gotta hear
Yeah,
it now.
no, you gotta say it now. You gotta say it
Gotta
now.
say it now. I don't play those games.
Is
I've
this
never
your European soccer team?
This
The
Hey.
Europes?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm
Europe's-
that far. Yeah. This is my yeah.
All
This
right.
Premier League
So
team.
It's my Premier
All
League
right,
team.
I'm gonna. How about this? To further to know that I'm correct, let Gravy predict.
I already know.
Gravy? Exactly.
He told me. He
So-
told me.
Okay, so so he already.
Yeah, like I
knows.
was
So-
at his house and he
okay.
told me.
Okay, so for you go and then I'll go.
It's just the Premier League?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm already a
Sure.
Chicago Fire MLS fan, which that could
That's
be up
true.
for sale next year, by the way.
You're on a temporary deal.
Based
I was-
on their performance.
I was gonna say Barcelona because that's my team, but I don't think they're in the Premier League. So I
They're
don't
not
know
in the
too-
Premier League.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get
I
the
don't-
fuck together. Get it together.
Who
God
is
damn
this
it.
guy?
Shit.
I don't even know too many teams on the Premier League, so I'm skipping this.
All right,
I'm
so
just
I'm
hyped.
gonna
I'm just
say
hyped for this.
I'm gonna say based on what I watched, because I watched these episodes at least twice. I'm gonna say that Benjamin Franklin is gonna pick Man City.
Okay.
Man,
Why do you say that?
That's it. I'm not gonna speak.
Okay. Well,
I hope
ladies
he
and
goes
gentlemen,
Man United.
Maybe
you
do.
never know. So let me just preface and say, as a well-documented deep thinker, I spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time thinking about this and going over scenarios in my head of how should I make my selection. And so I thought about many different factors. One, I even went down to the colors of jerseys and what that looks like because I like clothes and stuff like that. And then I started to think about soccer and I'm like, well, I looked at a team like Chelsea and I was like, as an American guy, they have Pulisic. That'd be an easy transition there. I could be a fan of them because I can also root for Christian as well. And then I thought about Manchester
shit,
City too.
He might be gone in
Huh?
3 months. And then you're like, shit, he might be gone in 3 months.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know any of this.
You got to think
And then
about that.
Then I thought about Manchester City, and I'm like, hey, obviously a good team, has many good players. My one qualm with them has always been well documented, just maybe their colors of the team, just because I'm a Duke fan, Kind of reminds me a little bit of UNC baby blue there, but it wasn't anything that, I didn't think I can get over. So I thought of that factor too. Then I thought about Manchester United as well. And I'm like, let me look at them in the mix. But I have to admit, I used to have a roommate that towards the end of our living together, well, this is how it ended. I called him on the phone and told him to come get his stuff out of his house, where I was going to remove his teeth from that. And he was a big United fan. So I was like, that's going to be out there. And then I started to think, while I was watching a soccer match, that soccer is a sport that you go to as a fan, and you're there as a community, right? You're there with friends. You're enjoying the game. Like, nobody goes to a soccer match by themselves. If they do, you're like, wait a minute, what are you going to do? So then I started to think about myself. If I'm going to really get into this, I would, want to watch it or know with other fans of a team maybe that I might root for. And so with that in mind, I chose, you ready?
Here we go.
Boom.
Oh boy.
This guy got a
knew
soccer
it!
ball.
I knew it.
You got a soccer ball?
You bet it. You bet, man. Yeah.
This man got a
For
soccer
the-
ball and
for the-
gave it a volleyball spike.
For the audio people, he has chose Manchester City, which is also Gravy's team, which
Yep.
I think he had influence on.
Yeah.
And
Hey, I will.
did.
How
I
much did you
preface.
pay him?
Let me tell you, Nick had no influence on me. He never ever said anything to me about pursuing that team or not. He never did. I swear.
I was
I
shocked.
chose this solely on myself.
He
by
chose it
myself.
because he
And-
watched the Italy game with me.
That's
Yeah,
when
he
I
was like-
kind of knew.
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
the Italy game, I was like, a couple times Man City was mentioned or something happened that I like watched his eyes glow up a little
Just-
bit, and I was like,
It just fits.
I think he's
it just
going
fits, right?
All
If
right,
I
that's
didn't
fine.
choose it, if I didn't choose it, then how am I going to get into this?
No, and that's fine.
Watch it.
Hey,
they
no
got a good
judgment here,
team.
brother.
And the whole jersey thing, by the way, I've been
It's nice.
looking at their store. Which, by the way, soccer teams. None of y'all have hats. What's up with that?
Yeah,
That I'm over it.
get with
'Cause it's not.
the
I
fucking
even-
program.
I'm not gonna lie. I even online pulled up their team colors compared to UNC. It's not the same blue, so we're good there.
Get a grip.
Okay. Hey, officially Man City. So the season starts in a couple of weeks. Yeah, hold that up, baby. So we get a nice screenshot of that.
I thought
Man
he was going to
City.
show the shirt.
Oh,
Hey.
the shirt, that thing. Look, I'm a well-documented person that doesn't like tight clothes,
Oh,
and
yeah, soccer shirt.
I like that.
It was
So that
European
thing-
size.
There's
Well,
a lot
yeah,
of fans
on-
that wish
yeah.
you wore tight clothes, but whatever.
no, I don't like tight clothes. And I
Maybe
got
it's
that
just
thing,
me.
I put it on, and as soon as I put it on, like even mid on, it came right back off, and I was like, oh, this is going back because I can't. It's too tight.
It's okay. Whatever.
She
Like,
said.
So
You
I like-
hitting the weights.
Bro, see, I used to hit the weights all the time. I'm not a weights guy anymore. I'm more of a cardio guy.
all right. Well, now that we
Go ahead.
have Ben's team, you have to be for this podcast. Obviously, soccer season starting in the next couple weeks. You got to be all in. You got to know. You got to be able to have conversations, be able to break down
I'm
the
ready.
games.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of tournaments, so it's a lot of responsibility. Saying it first, I thought being a soccer fan was fun. And it was like, oh, I pick a team and then watch them. Bro, it's a lot of responsibility. Like
Yeah.
you run into another person by accident and be like, oh, I root for Man City. It's like they'll just spew questions and it's like, you better be ready for that shit.
Well,
Yeah.
I said it on video that will be posted on the internet and be there forever. So I can't really
Ever.
back out of this now.
I like
so-
that.
No, you cannot.
Elliot will be posting a video of the selection. So best
Well, Ben-
bow lead.
Thank you for not letting me down.
By the way, I love this soccer ball, and me and Emily have been kicking it around the house all day.
That's a nice soccer ball.
Where'd you
Nice.
get it?
Amazon.
Okay.
Amazon, of course. Jeffrey
Everything.
Bezos. Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, you did it.
You just sent that guy on another penis-shaped rocket
Yeah.
in 10 years. Good job, man.
I read an article
Yeah.
that was like Jeffrey Bezos gave up that he was the richest man on the planet until he left the planet and then reclaimed it when he came back. It's like, shut the fuck up, you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Bro.
shout out Ashley, man, that listens to the podcast.
Yeah.
She loved our segment about Jeffrey Bezos and how rich people take advantage of all of us and we tend to worship them. And
Big
she's a great fan.
big
fan of the
WWE
pod,
person,
so yes, and
which
she's
was going to be
amazing.
my next statement. Why are they doing this?
Why, right? Why are they doing it?
Why?
They're just
Help
releasing
us.
all the good people.
Ric Flair?
I think they're
Bray
trying
Wyatt?
to, not so much Ric Flair, but Bray Wyatt and
No, of
the people
course.
that they've been releasing over the last few months. A little bit shocking. I saw Adam Cole's contract is up or close to being up, so wonder if he's going to come
Yeah,
back. And it's just
I've seen
like,
that
are they
too.
making the rosters weaker so that Roman Reigns can just continue to run through everybody, or like what's going on here?
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's
bullshit.
getting ridiculous. Bray Wyatt does
I
not need to leave.
Dude, and that's the crazy
They're
thing
the
about
Cubs.
WWE. It's like you release these guys and you don't find out until weeks later whether it was them asking for the release or the company asking for it, or like it's just a ploy just to re-sign back. It's all bullshit. It sucks because what we said a few weeks ago, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. In the
Mhm.
first time in like 20 years. Like me and Gravy, we could talk about that. It's the best time to be a wrestling fan since
Yep.
WCW days. And yet we're talking about releases and CM Punk going to AEW, Daniel Bryan going to AEW, which is going to be great. It's going to raise the popularity of wrestling. And there's always entertainment aspect of that. But man, it's unfortunate because it should be way better quality than it is. And Vince McMahon sold his soul to the devil. I think he's selling to Disney. I think Disney's
That is
buying
devil.
up everything. Yeah, Disney's buying everything.
Ruin everything.
And yeah, WWE is going to be sold to Disney, I think, and is going to be sold as a come on down, little kids, and like, let's watch wrestling, but it's not what it's supposed to be. So it's sad. It's a sad moment for me. And hopefully they regain something because I want to be able to talk to my kids about wrestling one day and explain to them everything. Because I talked to Brie about it and she doesn't want to hear about it anymore. She's bored of it. It's like, I
Yeah.
talked to her about it. It's like, all right, enough. It's like, I need a fucking kid to talk about this too.
I get it's a business, but some of it just doesn't make sense, dude. It really doesn't. Whether it's these guys wanting to leave because they're not getting the creative freedom that they
Yeah.
want and some of them deserve. It's like I get it, Vince McMahon built this and he's been creative and he's had his team and it's worked in order for the company to get to this level. But it's like, things are changing. It's time to adapt a little bit. And look how popular AEW has become so fast because these guys are able to create their own storylines and characters and plots, and people are gravitating towards it. So, I don't know what it's going to take for them to kind of fall in line with everyone else, but it sucks seeing guys that, we want to see. I even don't like when guys are stuck in NXT, like bring them up to the main roster. Like I get we got to fit everybody in, but you got 2 hours and you got 3 hours. Maybe if you cut off some of the bullshit that we don't want to listen to, we can get some more matches in.
The other day I was watching a little bit of it, and who was coming out? Roman Reigns was entering, and look, it was
Head of the table.
It was a cool entrance, but I think it lasted almost 10 minutes before he finally actually got to, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Yeah, that's a part of it. Yeah, that's a part of it. Yeah.
Like I want to see
feel you on that.
Roman Reigns, and I like his entrance, but it doesn't need to go last 10 minutes.
I am Roman Reigns in my house. I'm the head of the table. I'm that guy in my household. Which, whatever. All right for it. Anyway, what other topics do we have to go with? We got NBA. We got the
I've
NFL.
never been to
already
New York,
covered.
and doesn't look like I'm going either.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on? We gotta show your ID that you got vaccinated, and I'm not gonna get into the details of being vaccinated, but my household feels one way. And the fact that you have to prove it to go eat, to go in a restaurant, to go
Yeah.
work
The
out.
gym.
I'm going to New York in 2 weeks, by the way. So
Well, you have till the end of the
We'll
month. I'm in my family group chat with my family back in New York. They were asking who wanted to go out to dinner this weekend, and they're like, well, hey, we might as well get it out the way now because we're gonna have to show cards next month. So I think Cuomo's got other shit he needs to worry about before issuing
Yeah.
those types of
Like
rules.
finding-
He needs to
like
worry
finding
about
a new
himself
job.
before.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said
Did you
he's
guys-
not going to step down either.
Did you guys read the actual report and everything?
No, I just saw somewhere that he said it's happening because he's Italian, and that's why they feel that way.
How can he? I don't know why he's denying everything. They pretty much, yeah. And is anybody surprised? No.
No.
Dude, come on. Whatever. Yeah. You mark my words. This will become more and more common. Like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
This world is.
I'm sure it
Crazy.
goes on
That's
and we
why-
don't hear about it.
That's why I'm not even mad, Nick, that we're in Iowa, because it won't happen here for a long
I
time.
had no idea I was in Iowa until right now.
hey
Yeah, I
Ben,
just
go ahead for it before I say what I'm gonna say.
what my
You
whole
look so
thing is
confused.
I was like, wait, is he not?
this whole vaccine shit it sucks that like you can't have a regular conversation about it without it getting political. And I mean, I tweeted it today. I was like, this is in 10-15 years, it's not going to be mesothelioma or asbestos. It's going to be like, were you or a loved one affected by the COVID vaccine?
But that's anything. That's anything
Yeah,
in life.
it
That's
really
just
is.
living natural life and interacting each day with all the things that you interact with in natural life. A lot
Sometimes I
of things can kill
just-
you every single day.
Yeah,
It's like-
sometimes I just wish I would have stayed a kid and like ignorant to everything, because I feel like
Yep.
But
the
it's-
more
it's
research
just-
I do on things, it's like
It's
not good.
everything is turned into everything is politicized here these days. So
Yeah.
you can take any other factor out of the window, especially with COVID. They latched onto that as a political opportunity, and every single thing with it now is used that way because that's the environment that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I gotta be honest with you, I know, like talked about it, but that Yeonmi Park interview with Joe Rogan that I was listening to, she's the one I've been waiting for her to go on there. Listen to her talk and listen to the Cuba stuff talk. It just makes me feel, and honestly, everything that we hear going on here in this country, especially with COVID, the vaccines now, it all it means nothing to me anymore. It's like, these are useless problems compared to listening to some of these people, like what they went through in these other countries. And it's like, these are just minuscule problems that we're at each other's necks for. Like, literally, I don't think I've ever felt a time since I've been alive that there's been more like negative energy in the United States. There's just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Ben, plug what we were talking about, the Joe Rogan North Korea, without whether you want to go into it or not, but
I'm not finished through it, but
that kind of interview.
it's crazy. It's just like mind blowing. I mean, it's unfathomable that there's her name is like I think it's Yeonmi Park. She basically was born and raised in North Korea, escaped, and then she lives in America now. And then I think she wrote a book about living in North Korea, what life is like actually. I mean, a lot of stuff is well documented, but you don't know a lot of stuff that actually goes on there too. And so she talks about a lot of it, and it is insane. It is the most craziest stuff I've ever heard in my life.
And I want to cut you off because the thing that I sent you and then what I continue to watch was Joe Rogan she was telling a story about the kid's organs that were coming out. And I don't want to get too graphic, but I'm going to say what was real about it was in North Korea, there was a kid begging for food with his organs or whatever was coming out of him, flies, whatever. And she said it didn't affect her. And he said, and he continued to ask to make sure, like, it didn't, what do you mean it didn't affect you? Like, and she continued to reiterate, like, I didn't feel any empathy. It was normalized. It was,
They don't experience that feeling.
It was exactly. It was like as if us in South Florida, which is not to comparison, but I'm just saying, like, to Seattle relate people asking for money, where people are trying to beg for food or whatever. It's like in North Korea, she watched kids beg for food and it be completely normalized. And that's what hit me. So it took 5 minutes for it to happen. But like I was watching it like, whoa, that's when that really hit me hard.
It's just, because, she talks about how never saw a map growing up. So she didn't know that there were other countries, none of that. Like that doesn't exist there. That dead bodies, because everybody's malnourished in that country. Dead bodies and stuff are common. So you just walk around the streets and they're there. And so they get eaten a lot by rats, and talks about how they're so malnourished that the kids usually eat the rats and then they die from the diseases from the rats, and then the rats turn around and eat them again. So you walk down the street and you'll see dead bodies all the time. And at the same time, around those dead bodies, you'll just see kids playing around because they don't have a feel. They think that's normal. And it's just, it's crazy. But just that, all the stuff going on in Cuba, I don't know, it just makes me think more about the things that we think are problems here really aren't. I mean,
they're not problems
when you still have, I've talked about before, human suffering going on.
And we also plugged that Netflix documentary, Cuba and the Cameraman, because I watched it. I've told 3 other people at least since I've watched that. And that's amazing. It hit me hard. And obviously it hit Fort in a certain way when he watched it. But like, man, Cuba and the Cameraman, it watches 40 years of 40 years, different families of suffering. And damn, like I was watching that at night, and then I continued to watch it in the morning. That affected me a lot.
Yeah. I when I started watching it at first, I was like, what the fuck is this? Because like it started off with them like praising Fidel and saying like Viva Fidel and all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck then got me watching? Like, what is this? And then like
watch the whole thing.
Yeah, same thing. I won't lie. I like watching it. I was like, what the fuck is this?
But that's why I liked it, because it told a whole story.
Yes,
it did.
A whole good picture of how somebody like Fidel came into power and basically kind of brainwashed everybody.
Exactly.
Took control of them. And then you see over these years, that's why that guy that went there for all these years visiting these families, I think he told the story nice about how they then start to come out and realize, like, wait a minute, these people loved him
till the day he died, bro.
Yeah, they still do, bro. They still do.
Still do.
Like, fuck them.
Yeah.
It's just like that Yeonmi Park says, if you go to North Korea, there's still people there that are like, Kim Jong-un is God, Yeah. And so it's just, I don't know, it's weird. Sorry for the non-sports talk, but
no, this is the end of the episode. This is.
Can I get some rapid things?
Let's do it.
Go ahead.
All right, quick hitters. Because I think we'd be doing a disservice to our listeners without mentioning these topics. NBA draft. Not sure did the Heat have a draft pick?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Knicks got Quentin Grimes, Deuce McBride. I actually love both picks for the Knicks. Grimes is a shooter, defender, kind of bigger guard. Can play the 2 or the 3. Deuce McBride, point guard, defender, West Virginia. So they're guarding everybody 94 feet. Ray, I know like you liked your pick. If you want to talk about it really fast, you guys had 2 picks, right? Cam Thomas and Day'Ron Sharpe.
Yeah, I like their picks. Simple. Guy could come off the bench. Cam Thomas.
UNC.
Guy that could develop. Guy that could develop.
I think you're gonna like him a lot.
UNC. Yeah, I love it. Dad.
Ben Bulls.
Ayo from Illinois.
Oh, yep.
Yep, I love it. He plays hard. He's not going to be a starter or anything like that, but he can be a good role player, I'm hoping.
For sure. Trade deadline, crazy trade deadline. Shout out to the Mets for getting Javi El Mago. Can't wait to see him hit home runs and strike out 900 times for my team.
He did hit a
He'll
home
be
run.
electric.
And
I bet on him. They hit a home run first game plus 500.
Gravy. And on the defensive end, he'll be fucking electric.
I can't wait for him and Lindor to.
Oh, I'm watching Met games.
Play second
baby.
and third.
I'm watching Mets games.
I'm excited. Hopefully, we're not in last place by then.
I know a lot of Cubs fans that are boycotting the team the rest of the year.
I think that's crazy because I know it was a bad day for you. And, I gave you some
I've never
shit.
seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that in baseball.
I love it.
Where they literally, you heard rumors, but in reality, no one ever thought they were going to unload everybody. Like, we thought some people were going to stay. I didn't know if Rizzo was going to actually go or anything like that. But then those last couple of days, they just like, boom, get rid of everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, what the hell?
I mean, that's what the Marlins do whenever they get someone that's.
And so now it's like, what? And look, our return for a lot of things, I don't think was that great. And so it's like, what direction are we going to go now? I don't know. It's not.
Hey,
any
you're building
out there is
up.
like, no, dude. I mean, we are going to be so terrible these next 4 years.
You never know. I know, like the guy we sent you, he's pretty good. He was our 5th ranked prospect.
If you're a betting person, take whoever's playing the Cubs.
I did it. I actually took the Rockies first 5
for the next 3 years.
The next 3 years. Jeez.
Ray, I know we mentioned Rizzo, Gallo, and Rizzo. Rizzo's been on fire for the Yanks. I was trying to get the guys to do a top 5 a few weeks ago. Top 5 trades you'd want to see, and my number 1 trade was actually Rizzo to the Yanks before it was mentioned by anybody else. So I'm a little bummed I didn't get that off before it happened. Love it for him. Love to see it. Broward guy, Douglas guy. The Dodgers just continue to load up like they're the Warriors. I read something from John Heyman. They now have 6 total MVP awards. Pujols has 3. Betts has 1. Bellinger has 1. Kershaw has 1 as well. And then 7 Cy Youngs as a pitching staff. Kershaw and Scherzer have 3, and Price has 1. 8 if you count the booty beater Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
Trying to think who else went that was big. Kimbrel went to the White Sox. I thought that was huge. Adam Frazier went to the Padres. I loved it, man. I felt like, I guess they've changed some things baseball wise to where the trade deadlines are going to be like this moving forward. But I was home Friday and I was locked in on MLB Network since the minute I woke up, and it was pretty awesome. I love when guys are moving around like that. And I love what the Cubs did, even though I gave Ben shit. You either got to go for it all or you keep it all. So I think, even though I'm not a Cubs fan, smart on their decision. Smart decision on their half.
The Rizzo thing is the one move that hurts more than anything.
Oh, for sure.
That's the one. Everybody else, it's like, hey, I think you're gonna go. It's like, please keep Rizzo. But I'm happy he's with the Yankees. I mean, I think he'll do good things there. Like Rizzo, you said Nick, but New York will love him.
Yeah,
love that guy. Just like Chicago loves that guy. So.
Oh, for sure. That's a Don Mattingly, Tino Martinez type of player right there.
Yeah.
Don Mattingly tested positive for COVID. One of the only positive things the Marlins have going for him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got the vid. Yeah.
I'm waiting for
Shout
my
out
results.
Starlin
Hopefully
Marte.
I don't join him.
Yeah.
What did he do?
Yeah.
He went to the A's.
Yeah, he thanked the fans, said he had a good
okay.
time here. That was nice of him. He didn't have to do that because I'm sure he didn't have a good time down here. But
cool that Jesus Luzardo, who went to Stoneman Douglas, went back to the Marlins, and he pitched, beat the Mets last night. That's happy for him. He's going back home.
Yeah,
I'm
excited for baseball playoffs.
Yeah, Fort. The only thing I have for you is bet the Fort. I have your picks in front of me. So right before we end this podcast,
Yep, I was just
You
gonna
have
say
in
shout
front
out
of
to
you?
Dalvin Cook for graduating from FSU.
Oh yeah,
And,
he did.
uh,
That's
yeah.
awesome too.
I like when players still continue their education. Not for everybody,
Absolutely.
but more props to you. But yeah, that's pretty much all the random bullshit. Ocho Cinco should be a Hall of Famer because he has better numbers than Michael Irvin. That is it.
He's already in his own Hall of Fame, so he's good. He already put that jacket on.
Yep.
He's chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, bet the fort.
Bet the
I
fort.
think we got a few picks this week. Just because we're in the betting mood, having Amanda on, so a little more picks than usual. Hall of Fame game this week. I think it's Thursday night, August 5th. Taking the Steelers just because she was on. USA plays Australia sometime this week, I think.
Yep, tomorrow.
Tomorrow I'm taking USA. Betting against USA is communist. Big USC fight. The whole card this week is good. I'm excited. It's in Houston. Derek Lewis fighting in his hometown against Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane is a beast. Like, he's undefeated. But I'm taking Derek Lewis just because he's that dude.
What did he say? His balls were hot or his balls were sweaty?
Yeah. My balls are sweaty right now. So I need a good post fight interview from him.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good card. I know Jose Aldo's fighting too. A little bit of baseball. I'm taking Red Sox over Jays, the Blue Jays, Dodgers over Angels, and Giants over the Brew Crew. Both those teams, Dodgers and Giants, made some moves. That division is, I don't know. That's one of the best divisions I've seen, and I still don't know how the Giants. I think they're still in first place, which is pretty impressive with Padres and Dodgers in there. But one of those three teams is going to the World Series in the NL, in my opinion.
Tatis is out again with his shoulder injury.
Yeah, slide into third was kind of ugly, but they got.
I don't know what it's called. I think it's like a subluxation or something. I don't know. I think your shoulder keeps popping in and out of place.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
That's
about.
got to suck.
Yeah.
He's got to play more. I like how free he plays, but he's got to play a little bit
more under control.
Yeah, a little.
Bellinger had the same injury. I believe it was last year or the year before. He had it in the playoffs and played through it. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys don't have anything to add for episode 26, I feel like this is our best episode ever as far as having a guest appearance on, and also with the quality of sports we talked about. That wraps it
Look
up.
at Ben's face.
I'm sick. I sound like shit. My throat hurts.
Hey, we
Ready
all
to go to
got
sleep.
COVID. Yeah,
Ready to take
same.
care.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm about to pop a melatonin and pass out.
Yep.
What's wrong? What's wrong with all these celebrities not wanting to shower their kids, bro?
I'm sick of it.
That's the thing. Hey, let's.
These white
talk
people
off
are
the
out of
record.
control.
Yeah, I shower twice a day, pretty much.
Oh my gosh, man! Got to.
Yeah, I hate
Wash your
showering.
kids, you filthy animals.
Right?
All right, well, that wraps up episode 26. Hopefully, you guys catch us on the dial, on the YouTube, on the
CAC,
on that CAC,
On the CAC.
So-
PCAC.
Shout out Amanda Vance for joining us,
For
and
real.
we'll have many guests on the future episodes, but also
This guy's burping
we'll
and-
have Amanda back on.
What is he doing?
The guy was like, guy's having an exorcism
And
while he was
dying.
talking.
Ben. I love it. All right, guys. Episode
Oh
26.
my gosh.
Peace.
Deuces.
Take a shower, you dirty bitches.
Bitch!